Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to All About You. I am actually going to be doing a live discussion here. I tried on Facebook and it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. So I'm gonna kind of just wait a little while, let you guys get involved, get on here, and we're gonna definitely do this Q&A here because right now, we have regionals coming up, and it's very important for everyone to be ready. What is up, Giovanni? What is up? How are you doing? Right now we are, going to be going through a walkthrough overall on the format for DragonBall Super TCG, and we're going to be talking about these upcoming regionals and how to prep up correctly. Jonathan Neves, you definitely asked the question before about androids, and I'm here to let you know that androids are very viable in this format. They're very strong. What's God? What's up, bro? What is up? Okay, so at least I can see your comments, everyone. How's your morning? My morning is great, Primal Velocity. Thank you for asking. How is yours? Right now I'm at work. This is usually my grounds for creating videos. Most of my videos are done here, so it's pretty cool. Vegeta or Draftbox Goku, Giovanni? I will say Vegeta all the way. I enjoy Draftbox Goku, but he's slightly... the problem is that you don't want to give your opponent any card advantage early unless your deck is more of a rush-based... If your whole goal is to win between turns 2 to 3, then Draftbox Goku. If you want to win the control war while still putting pressure, Vegeta all the way. Talk to me about new heroes and villain cards. Okay, yeah, definitely. Well, right now, we're in a situation with the new heroes and villain cards. They are very good and easy to bring out because, as you may already know, in order to bring out these cards, we have a warp zone. So all you have to do is literally remove from game, put those cards from your discard pile into your warp zone according to the cost of the card. So that's going to allow players to bring out a lot of drops that are free, and any kind of character that you can bring out, any battle cards that you can use, or even extra cards that you can use for free is essentially very good because you get a lot of value out of it. That's why Mecha Frieza in this format is extremely strong, and he's going to be very powerful overall in continuing formats. Primal Velocity, good, as well as here just walking home, getting ready to head to Truly Urban. That's cool. Well, the best warp card I've seen so far, to be honest, is I'm fond of the Trunks, but a lot of players already spoken about that. Trunks is very effective. He's literally, he's a Majin Buu, he's a filter card that allows you to see more. You get to literally see 2 cards and select one of them, and then top or bottom. That's not bad. You get to add a card into your hand, and then you get to set up, keep the card on top, or put it to the bottom of your deck. And he only costs 3, so with that being said, it's extremely good filter. He's 3, but free essentially if you running a Trunks deck, if you're running a card deck that's based more on the discard pile. So you're able to utilize cards quicker, dump out cards into your discard pile from any means. You have leaders like Cooler, which is going to be finally viable. Cooler is going to be very good for this warp format. He will probably warp the format, literally, because of his effect. You just mill 3, and now you can play a Trunks for free and just hit the top 2 and plus out. You could start plussing in your hand early with a lot of these effects and just filtering through the key cards you need. So that's going to be very useful. But it's just something that we all have to start prepping up for. But guys, just keep asking questions as we go along, because I can see your questions when they pop up, but they disappear. And for some reason, I'm looking at them. I'm trying to see if I can go back to show live chat messages. Let me see if I can see them. Yeah, so just continue to ask questions and whatnot. But this format is very good. Walking into it, there's a lot of cards that I really love, like Gotenks, specifically the Gotenks engine. For some reason, Bandai, they're loving Gotenks. I don't know what is up with their obsession with those cards. Did you see the new Vegito? Yes, I saw the new Vegito. Giovanni, he is very good. having critical and potentially getting that double strike on a second attack with dual attack. I mean, he's pretty nuts. And then him costing 8 is not really a problem when you're more than likely going to have a Vegeta or Goku that you can just play over. What do you think about the second place deck at ARG Vegas? The deck was good. Golden Frieza, not bad. It was a shocker to actually see that there as a viable deck. Golden Frieza has always been good. I mean, I even played it at one point. It's just a little hard to really, you know, dive in. But it was a good deck, definitely good. I have to say that it's nice in this format. It's just it gets clogged up quickly. So again, regionals is a little difficult to assess what decks are really the best, because you got to understand, guys, when you go to these huge events, there is such thing as a bracket. And this bracket, all that means is that, let's say me and I'll say Hollow the Animal, which you guys may not already know, but he's a good player. His name is Mike Washington. He used to be very good in Naruto, and he's very good in other games. So let's say, for the sake of the argument, me and another player like him, we're playing the same deck, right? And we're going into the tournament. Let's say we're playing my Tricolor Cell, right? So my Tricolor Cell has a great matchup against everything in the format except for the Cell Chain. So let's say Mike doesn't play a Cell Chain throughout the full 9 rounds. He's fortunate that he doesn't play against his worst matchup. But let's say me, I'm unfortunate and I play against like 3 or 4 of those matchups. So my deck can beat the matchup, but it's not in my best interest to play against that type of matchup because it's weak against it. That means that game 2, I'm forced to side. If I win game 1, then I can potentially just 2-0 my opponent. But I have to side in. That's a deck type that I have to side. While Mike, on the other hand, he's just chilling, you know, and he's playing through all these matchups, and he's not playing against his worst. So as long as he plays his game well in control and he does what he needs to do during gameplay, he's gonna go through the tournament smoothly, because Golden Frieza, Mecha Frieza, Trunks, Vegeta, all these other leaders and all the variables, the variants that you could play with them, they're not really threats to that deck. You know, they're just decent matchups. You know, any one of those decks to take the game, it's now more based on player skill. So when you're in a bracket, you got to realize that your matchups may not fall into place. So you got to just be careful on what decks that you play. What do you think is the top 3 leaders now? Giovanni, Vegeta, Mecha Frieza, and Cell. That's my personal pick. Definitely my personal pick there. And you know, it's an interesting way where all these leaders practically counter one another. So that's something that you have to realize when you're going into these events. They have good matchups against one another. Vegeta's great against Mecha Frieza, and Mecha Frieza's great against Cell, and then Cell is great against Vegeta. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
But yeah, guys, thank you for bearing with me. You know, since I'm at work, once in a while I'm gonna get a little distracted, but for the most part, I'll be able to give you guys my attention. Please make an updated Vegeta deck. Definitely, I will. Very soon, actually. What's your opinion on the Blue Goku starter leader? Hey, Bob, my opinion on the Blue Goku starter leader. He's extremely good, very good. I'm actually gonna talk a little bit more about that. And hey, what's up, Trinidad and G? What's up? How's it going? All right, so the Goku starter leader, he is exceptionally effective. He's not in my top 3, but he can beat 2 out of my top 3. He's very good against Mecha Frieza, exceptionally well against Mecha Frieza, and very good against Cell. So with that being said, he's great against Cell because Cell can't really pop that many cards on the board as fast as Goku starter can get more guys on the board. New Gotenks engine. Yeah, definitely. The Gotenks engine is powerful, and it's something that is, you know, that's right now they're overdoing it in my opinion. Hey, how's it going? Right now, in my opinion, I believe that Bandai's a little overdoing it on the Gotenks engine. You know, they're coming out with so many cards that are tutorable. We already have Mighty Mass that can pick up any small Gotenks or any small...
I got the keys, I'll bring it right back.
Okay, yeah, take your time. So, you know, you just gotta realize that when you already created cards that can tutor other cards, you gotta be careful on what you release. And that's actually my issue with right now the Trunks and Goten engine. It's a little too strong. Joe, Mick, speaking of Goku starter, would you consider Goku Black the yin to the starter's yang? Not quite. Goku Black doesn't really counteract Goku starter. It just, what's good about the deck is that since Goku starter is a slower deck, you don't have to worry too much about your opponent like defeating you early, you know? So it's interesting when you play Goku Black, because Goku Black's only problem is that it requires a setup. And the setup is a little more towards your mid to late game, and it has an auto ramp system built into it, and it can self-awaken. So Goku Black it definitely is pretty good against starter Goku, but it's not quite like the Yang aspect to it. So that's something that you just gotta look out for. Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Good. All right. Thank you.
All right.
So, just wait one moment, guys. So, you know, with all that being said, Richmond, Virginia, okay? Right now, we're gonna be expecting Mecha Frieza to hit hard. That's essential. You know, Mecha Frieza is a powerhouse in this format. Utilizing extra cards to gain benefits, it's very crucial in winning games. If I can basically say Monica into Objection, into Frieza's Army, into a bunch of other cards that can speed up my own gameplay while netting me a free Awaken, that's extremely strong. Going back to Vegeta, to me Blue-Red is the most effective Vegeta deck in this format, but Green-Blue is a very good matchup for Blue-Red. I have to tell you that Green-Blue Vegeta decks can counter Red-Blue Vegeta decks very well. So you gotta be careful because those two they're both strong, and for the most part, you wanna, when you're building any deck, whichever leader you choose to select for this format, you gotta realize that by tuning up the colors, you are basically giving yourself either an advantage or a disadvantage against majority of the decks in this format. So like Green-Blue Vegeta, he's very effective against his counterpart, which is Red-Blue Vegeta. But Red-Blue Vegeta is very effective against decks that require a setup, such as Mecha Frieza. Because Mecha Frieza has so many extra cards in its deck, it's easier to rush it down once it's already awakened. And what's cool about it is that sometimes your opponent may not get their extra cards. So you don't need to swing into the leader, guys. That's another thing. When you're playing against Mecha Frieza, let them awaken themselves. Don't awaken them. Don't swing into them and awaken them for you. You know, like don't give them that free privilege. You know, being awakened is a privilege in this game, and that's something that most players have to realize when they're playing any leader. You know. Exodia Man, Team Wolfpack, do you think it die? No, it's definitely not gonna die. This game is extremely strong, and that's cool too. Right now we're in a situation that, like I said, you wanna be careful on how you play against certain matchups. Hi, good morning. So, you know, anytime you have an advantage over your opponent, being awakened is an advantage, guys and girls. So you just want to make sure that you don't give it up. Even against Mecha Frieza, let them awaken, then put pressure once they're awakened. And like I said, yeah, this game is nowhere near dying. This game is phenomenal. We're hitting close to Yugi numbers, at least not on the huge stage events, but on the, you know, mid-tier events. Does Broly Awaken Leader ability pop battle cards on both sides? On both sides, the Broly leader? No, the Broly leader doesn't pop cards. I'm sorry, your message kind of faded away, but it only pops battle cards on its awakened side. That's it. It's just hand control on the first side, and then it's hand control on the second side as well, with the addition of popping battle cards. Except your opponent gets to pretty much select. But when you run cards like Kale, you can pretty much combine that with Broly and be able to pop all the little cards and then force your opponent to lose one of their key battle cards. I actually have a pretty nasty Broly build, which I'm probably going to share on the channel soon after Richmond, Virginia. ARG is doing their thing. Yes, Exodia, man. ARG is doing very well. Very, very well. Demon Snow King, that's what I said. Awakened Side, can it pop? Sacred Guard Whis? No, it cannot. Sacred Guard Whis cannot be removed, period. Yes, I do have a Vegito deck. I will do a profile of it. Unfortunately, I can't do it soon because it was stolen. It was stolen like about a month and change ago. So unfortunately, I can't do the profile unless some people are willing to lend me the cards so I can just build the deck that how I had it before, so I can show you guys my build. Bob Swade, this game is on its way. Yes, it's doing phenomenal, very good. You know, and Giovanni, because I have a Vegeta hand destruction, do you think is good for the meta? Yes, right now Vegeta hand destruction is very good for the meta. It just has an issue right now with leaders like Cell and leaders like Mecha Frieza. See, green-blue Vegeta doesn't have a great matchup against yellow because you can just negate the main hand destruction cards. Just curious, what do you think of the possibility of a March featuring? I'm not too sure. I mean, the possibility is there. The possibility is definitely up there, you know, so to speak. I definitely can see something. Actually, I'm kind of now just reading through some of the messages, guys. Possibility that's set 3. I'm gonna just go through them one by one so I can get everyone's questions answered. So if I don't get to you, I'm gonna get to you. Just keep watching. Joe Mick, just curious, what do you think is possible set 3 that's rumored to be coming out late March featuring the original Dragon Ball or GT? It is definitely possible. If I was you, just don't get too caught up in it. Kind of just, we're all here kind of waiting to see what Bandai comes out with, because there's just so much. There's so much for Dragon Ball, the franchise. At the end of the day, you know, we're gonna be able to see where they're gonna take this game, but at this point in time, they're doing a phenomenal job. We just gotta keep seeing what's in store, and I hope that they communicate with players a little more often, because right now I feel like the power creep is already at a high scaling. And if you talk to other YouTubers for this game, or if you watch their content, I'm pretty sure they'll let you know the same. You know, the format is getting a little crazy with this speed. When you can end games between 2 to 3, that's a problem when the game at first wasn't playing like that. You know, so it was at a certain point. Hey, what's up, young bad man? What's up? How's it going? I'm just going through questions one by one. Primal Velocity, another question added to the Broly ability in Awakened Side. Does it pop Broly Ring? Yes, it does, Primal Velocity. It does pop Broly Ring. If you do not have another battle card to get rid of, you have to get rid of any card in that area. And Broly Ring is considered to be in the battle area, you know, so yes, you would have to get rid of it, unfortunately. What deck do you recommend me to play? Well, right now, Exodia Man, I have to say your safe bet is to play one of the 3 that I mentioned earlier, which is essentially a yellow leader that can use Cold Bloodlust. Remember, not all yellow leaders can use that card. You have to be able to use the yellow leader that can utilize that card. So that's any Frieza army card. So that's Genyu, any Frieza for the most part at this point in time, and you're pretty much set to go. You can be using Vegeta. Green-blue is very strong. Red-blue is very strong. Even tricolor Vegeta, which I notice players are not really getting too, you know, they're not really going out thinking outside the box. Remember, tricolor is very viable this format, guys. You know, that's those tricolor allows you to utilize the best of all 3 colors. You know, so just be a little crafty when you're designing builds, especially when builds that can net card advantage easy. Hey, bro. Thank you. You know, so just utilize the tools given. You know, Bandai is giving us some tools. Utilize them. Zoo hairs. Honestly, it's not too bad if you evolve into Bi Broly and they Cold Bloodlust. I'm okay with that. They lose 1 card instead of 2. Yes, Zoo hairs. It's just not good against really. You got to realize that negging your opponent 2 cards is a little more effective than just 1. But yes, you essentially still got them to ditch a card, and then now you swing into them, and then you can make them ditch another card, or potentially 2 cards depending on the scenario. So I do agree with that. But against like a leader like Cell, it's very hard to build a board. Like, it's hard to set up your little Broly's into buy your Broly into the bigger Broly. You get what I'm saying? So that's more along the lines. Like the Broly package is still very strong, but it's more effective against like Starter Goku, for example. Starter Goku can't do anything until it starts speeding up through the deck, and it only really speeds up through the deck once it hits turn 5 and up. Until then, Starter Goku's a sitting duck. No offense to that leader, because I love the leader, but it is a sitting duck until you get to those crucial turns. And you got to realize that it's depending on an awakening card. Leaders that can't self-awaken are very hard to play because they are the slowest decks in the format. Now, once they're awakened, they go off. You know, and that's something that most of you guys, when you start playing like with Starter Goku and all these other leaders that don't self-awaken, you'll realize that, wow, you gain so much advantage once you're awakened, but just to get to that point, it's a little difficult. While leaders like Vegeta, leaders like Cell, or any green leader that can utilize TN, boom, you're self-awakened. Once you hit your key piece, you're awakened. Once you play Vegeta, you awaken on turn 4 or earlier if your opponent is trying to put pressure, which I wouldn't advise that. You know, never awaken your opponent earlier than what you need to, unless you have a deck that can pretty much scoop them up like that. Now, I'm still going through the questions. Next question is for Trinidadian G. What cards to believe are overhyped? All right, well, cards that I believe are overhyped, I believe the Warp. All right. The ability to play these cards for free with the new mechanics, I believe that it is overhyped. You got to realize, guys, it's not that hard to build a discard pile, but when you're going to pay, let's say, play a card that costs 5, and you got to remove 5 cards from your discard pile and then put it into your Warp Zone, yeah, that's a bit much. Not many leaders can do that, even Trunks. Like I heard people talking about, oh, you could run the Trunks leader and you could just, you know, keep milling out your cards and, you know, effectively putting cards into your discard pile. You can, but you're not going to be building a huge discard pile like that. You know, a Trunks deck is going to be able to utilize the smaller removal cards. Like for example, Trunks. Trunks can run into the Trunks deck because you're only paying 3. You know, you're removing 3 cards from your discard to play a card, you know, so it's effective in that sense because you're not, it'll take only a turn or 2 to build up that 3 rather than you trying to build up a 5 cost card or maybe even a bigger cost card in the future that requires a lot of dedication to your discard pile. But a leader like Cooler, for example, he mills 3, you know, so a card that literally says I mill 3 to get a +5 boost, he's very effective because he already gives you your Trunks right off the rip, you know, and that's very strong. He allows you to effectively, you know, get the key cards you need, which is, you know, it's something that you want to take into consideration when you are building decks that are going to utilize these warp cards and this warp mechanic. I'm going down the list, guys, so just bear with me. You know, I'm going to answer questions in order so that you guys get everything. So right now we're up to Young Badman. Thoughts on Galactic Emperor Frieza? I think it deserves some testing because its ability is unlike any other. I agree. Galactic Frieza is similar to Goku in the sense that it's a deck that gets better once it's awakened, and early on you build advantage. The only problem I have is that it has a terrible matchup against Cell. And the Cell leader is not the most dominant leader in this game, as it was at one point when it was released early on before these draft cards. But you don't want to run into that matchup. And I would probably say that that matchup is still viable. You know, so Galactic Frieza is great in this format, amazing in this format against a lot of other decks, and I believe Galactic Frieza will top. It will definitely show in the top slots this Richmond, Virginia, because honestly speaking, a leader like that, you got to remember, I'm stacking up whatever I need on my board, and you can't touch it unless you have removal. And that's super crucial because the most heavily played leader is Mecha Frieza right now. So Mecha Frieza has to keep drawing into their Kales, their Gohans, their Jiren, whatever engine they want to run, they got to draw into those key cards. So it's going to be hard for them to really remove your board. So Galactic Frieza is very good against that matchup. And then you have Android 19, which is a free draw. Running Android 19 and Galactic Frieza is amazing, guys. That's a Majin Buu every turn without having to pay energy. You drop him, he stays on the board until someone can remove him. And that's a free draw every turn. Even if your opponent's awakened, you're drawing a free card. So it's like you don't even have the disadvantage from not being awakened. That's the cool thing. So being crafty and playing cards that help utilize and help you when you're not awakened is crucial. Like if you're playing a red leader and you're not awakened, you could play SS3 Goku, the promo from set 1. He allows you to get that nice pump so you can hit the leader. Even if your opponent's awakened, you could put pressure on your opponent despite you not being awakened. You know, and that's what you need to do. You know, that's something that you want to do when you're playing the game. You want to find ways to utilize your predicament and make the best out of it, you know? So even when you're not in the best situation, you could run cards in your deck that really helps you. It's like, hey, well, you know what? Cool, I'm not awakened, great, but I got cards that are gonna really wreck my opponent regardless. So deal with this Galactic Frieza. I'm swinging into you, bro, you gotta swing at my leader. If you don't swing at my leader, you can't touch my battle cards, right? So, you know, being smart. Galactic Frieza doesn't care about being awakened too often because you can utilize so many cards that forces your opponent to attack back, or they're gonna just lose. Your battle cards are gonna just steamroll them, and that's very crucial when playing. I'm gonna just try to move a little faster on these questions so most of you guys can get answered a little quickly. Exactly, Giovanni, you know, and what Zuhair said is true. Thank you, Exodia Man. For you, the top 5 leaders, well, instead of top 3, like I said, Vegeta, Mecha Frieza, Cell, and then I'll add the other 2 that I believe are very strong, Starter Goku, and I have to give it to my man, Champa. Champa is very good, guys. You know, he, again, I spoke about this earlier, Champa is extremely powerful in this format. He literally says any battle card I bring out on the board that's 15 or higher, I'm getting value. I'm always going to keep drawing a card. He works so well with Kaba, which is why I was playing him in set 1. You guys know me as a Champa player during set 1. He's extremely strong if you have SS3, the promo. He's utilized his card advantage. He can get his hand dropped by Cell and still perform well because he's constantly generating card advantage. So his hand could go from 3 all the way back up to 5, 7, and onwards, especially if he's not awakened and the opponent is scared of awakening him. You know, a lot of people are afraid of awakening Champa, and what's so good about Champa is if you don't awaken the guy, he gets even stronger. You have to try to awaken him. That's the way to beat Champa. You don't want him to not be awakened. You need him to be awakened, or he's going to generate too much advantage, and then you're going to be the one fighting on the lower end. You know, you're going to be the one at a disadvantage if he's not awakened. And leaders like that are powerful, which is why I said Galactic Frieza is definitely a very good pick for this format, because players that don't want to awaken you, you'll put a lot of pressure on them. We Team Defno, hey guys, how's it going? We will see you at Richmond. Good luck over there. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Good luck to you. I definitely will be seeing you. And, you know, if you guys want to do, we'll talk, you know, and chill and hang out. Anyone that wants to hang out with me, you know, just step right over. I'm not a mean guy, as some people may think I am. Primal Velocity, you tried the new Dragon Ball Fighter. Easy?
Thank you.
Hey. All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. You tried the new Dragon Ball Fighter Z game? Yes, Primal Velocity, and that game, it is so good. I love it. It's amazing, and I would like to talk a little bit more about it, but I'm gonna try to keep this just for the card game, because right now we're trying to prep up for VA in Virginia, you know, so we just gotta get ready through that. So I'm gonna keep moving on. Demon Snow King, is there a way to make hand destruction starter Goku work? Yes, I actually had a starter Goku hand destruction deck. The problem with it is that it was really not effective against Vegeta, the leader, you know, so you gotta realize Vegeta denies the cards that you would normally get on an average basis and it pretty much stops you from getting key cards. So he's allowing you to get closer to awakening, but he's denying you the resources. While most decks, when they attack you, they have to give you cards in hand. Critical hurts starter Goku a lot, immensely, which is why that Results of Training is not as effective as it was during the first format, because you got now more critical cards. You have the Gohan and Kale this format, which it makes it a little harder when you got a character that's hitting 20 with a crit. You know, so your opponent could literally still stall you out when you're already awakened. When you use results at, like, let's say 6 or 7 life, you still can be stalled out because they're just gonna keep critting you to death. You know, and that's it hurts feelings when you can't use your 10K, your free 10K boost. You know, that's the only problem with being awakened when you're not at 4 or less life. You don't have access to some of the best parts of your deck, and it is what it is, right, guys? You know, so going down, Zoo Hairs, yeah, the Cell matchup is hard, LOL, for BG Vegeta. Yes, it really is. You know, they'll pop all your Broly cards and you're pretty much in trouble once they pop you. You know, and that's one thing that overall you have to understand, that in this game, whatever deck choice you decide to take to these events, you want to make sure that most of your matchups are very clear and crisp, meaning that you're able to effectively play cards that will help you elevate your gameplay. You know, and when you're not elevating your gameplay against most of your matchups, it becomes a little hard to deal with, and it may not be the best choice. That's why Blue and Green Vegeta, it's very strong, but it does have some hard matchups, especially against Cell, the leader. You know, but overall, you know, it's a great matchup against the Red Blue Vegeta. You see what I mean? Because the Red Blue Vegeta can't remove your guys, so you can stack up Broly's, bio them, hit them with crazy Broly. That's what I like calling the 6-drop, Rampaging Horror. He's definitely super crazy. Going back, what's up, Team Death Note? Yep. How do you beat Trunks aggro Red Blue? Well, you beat Trunks aggro Red Blue by denying them the ability to awaken, and you can hurt them with critical. You can clear out their battle cards. Trunks is strong, but it's not. The problem with Trunks is that he's really effective when you can awaken at any moment you choose to awaken. So example, I'm playing my Trunks deck, I combo, like let's say it's my turn. I attack you with a battle card, or I attack you with my leader. I combo a two or three card. I draw. Now, if I have a way to awaken that same instance, I can awaken, then combo again on either another battle card, use another card, and draw again. So you can really cycle through your deck when you have the ability to awaken whenever you want. You got what I'm saying? Running cards like Champa, since you said Red Blue, Champa Kaba helps you awaken. So if you have your Kaba play and your Trunks is already close to being awakened, you're set. But when you're nowhere near being awakened, your opponent is not going to just keep comboing just to keep drawing and putting pressure on you, because they're going to dump a lot of key cards that they need in their hand. The problem when Trunks is not awakening is that he can't generate advantage. So you're constantly losing a card to see another card. But what happens when your hand is already at a tight spot where you can't really ditch out your key cards? You just can't. Like, what if you're stuck with boost attack Piccolos? You know, it would be dumb to combo out, not get value, and then just to draw and cycle through a card. So Trunks, you know, he has limitations. You know, good players would realize that he has limitations. You know, so that's something that you want to think about, you know, when moving forward. Hey, how's it going?
Working with the painters, with them.
PH2, yeah. Go right up.
Sign in?
No, you're good. You're good. As long as you're part of the crew. Alright, guys, so I'm going to keep going. Team Death Note, Exodia Man, nothing much. Alright. Abel Alvarez, what would be a leader you would like to see in set 3? I want to see Piccolo. Recently, a while ago, there was like spoilers for Piccolo, and in the Japanese version of their version of this game, which is it's different, it works differently. They have a Piccolo leader that when he's awakened, he has no effect prior to being awakened. When you're at 4 or less life, you awaken. When he's awakened, you literally select 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them into your energy pool. And then when he's awakened, he has the standard when he attacks, draw a card. That leader was super effective. If they can bring a leader like that in this game, you have no effect, but when you hit your 4 or less life, you automatically pitch 2 cards from the top of your deck to your energy area. Woo! We got a threat when he's awakened, you know? So if you use results of training, and imagine using objection with Piccolo, you just hurry up, burn, try to awaken as quick as possible. Results, you get 2 more energy. You could literally be like 4 or 5 turns ahead of your opponent, no problem. And then now he's just a standard attack draw leader with a lot of extra life left, and you could play huge threats easier, much easily. So I'm looking forward for something like that. I want to see if they're gonna bring that kind of effect, because mostly if you haven't noticed, if you check the previous leaders from the other game, you'll see that they're trying to like match some of the effects. Some of the effects are very similar. So that's something that's pretty cool that I noticed that Bandai's trying to do. They're trying to kind of like match the games together in a sense where they're kind of keeping the effect closely similar. Moving forward. Yo, what's up? What's up, Team Electrolyte? How's it going? What do you guys feel about MetaMats? MetaMats is okay. I like their stuff. You know, unfortunately, things didn't work out with me at MetaMats. You know, because I had a lot of heat at one point. You guys may already know this if you follow me in the community. You know, I was banned at one point from the community, from the main Facebook group, and prior to that, there was just a lot of issues when it came down to me releasing some content. I had to be like super precise. If I made a slight error in my video, you know, people could try to throw like I'm cheating or that, you know, I'm doing some kind of misconduct in the game. Realizing I'm human like everyone else, I can make a mistake, you know. It's just because you're good at a card game, you know, I mean, anyone could be good at anything, you know, doesn't mean that you're gonna be like perfect or whatnot. So mistakes happen. But, you know, that's all in the past now. Moving forward, let's see. Young Batman, you mind if I PM you on Facebook about Galactic Frieza? I honestly think this leader should be up there with Starter Goku. Yeah, sure. Any of you guys can message me. I answer back as fast as possible. Most of you guys know that. I don't leave you guys unread. You know, I'll try to answer. Just sometimes I can't have too many conversations. So, you know, if I get back to you, just give me some time to get back to you again, you know, if you reply and whatnot. Moving forward, Team Death Note, what money matches are you expecting to see or have? Well, Trinidadian G, I am going to have a money match with a few guys. One person from the Bearded team, which is ran by Alec, which he has his own store up in Florida. I'm definitely going to do money matches with him. He was kind of talking some trash, and as you guys may know, you know, I do my fair share of talking trash, but you know, I like to back it up, you know, and I don't talk trash just for nothing, you know. I only would do it if a player is like indicating or kind of not, you know, sometimes when you sit across another player, sometimes it's some players don't give you respect, you know, like when you go and you're playing someone, you know, you want to like give a handshake before your match.
Hi, good morning.
How's it going? Good morning.
I have an issue. I worked last week here, electrician,
okay.
The other side. My guy left the tools there and some materials. I want to take this. Can you open the door for me? I don't know, that's in the basement, or at least give me access, I can go there. In
the basement, which room do you
Yeah, we do it in the lobby, the other side.
Yeah. Oh, so it's on the other side?
When it's the heating, you know, we wrap it up the pipes, all
right, is the room open?
I believe so.
Yeah, then you can go downstairs.
You can go downstairs this day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send the guy because he's worked there, so he knows better than me. Okay.
Sure, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for bearing with me. I'm gonna keep going down through the questions. Let's see, but like I said, you know, some of my money matches, again, if I play Scott Holbrook, or I think I called out his actual name, if he doesn't mind it.
Yeah, to the basement.
That's fine. Go for it, guys. So, you know, I'm going to definitely have my fair share of money matches. I'm looking at about 2 to 3 money matches. And if any of you guys, you know, want to play me for something or whatever, by all means, I'm open. You know, I play anyone and everyone for that matter. Going on. Make sure to push people's shit in. You already know, Kenneth. I didn't get to battle you in Orlando, but who knows in the future? Yeah, team pushing shit in. Yeah, you already know. You guys already know that's my thing. What's your thought of Mecha Frieza Hand Destruction? Very powerful deck. I've already seen some good competitive play. It utilizes the bio engine just like Vegeta would, except it's in Frieza, and you can run more hand controls, such as the extra card that is a turn 4, but in Frieza it just costs 3, and if he's awakened it costs only 2. So yes, very effective, very strong. I have to admit though, players haven't been playing the deck correctly. Their lists have been good, but they haven't been playing the deck correctly. So I believe that deck could have done more damage than what it did. It topped, but it could have done much. It could have really impacted the format greater. So expect that deck to try again in this tournament, this upcoming tournament, and you know, see kind of where it goes from there. Team Death Note. Do you think Majin Buu leader in Japan is broken? Do you think the Majin Buu leader in Japan? I don't know. What is the Majin Buu leader's effect? I mean, I follow their format to an extent, but I don't know all the cards. I don't know all the leaders. I know some of the leaders that I preferably liked, especially before the game came out. I checked up and I wanted to have an idea of what most of these leaders do, but I haven't quite delved in every leader. So yeah, post leave it in the comment section below so I can answer you. Hey, what's up, Reaper? Giovanni, you know George Fernandez? Yes, I do. Jorge Fernandez. Yeah, Jorge Fernandez. I actually beat him once at my locals. He's a good player. He's very good, and yes, I know him. We drew. He forced a draw. Game 1, like you see if you watch the previous video that I released, my Florida experience video. He's a very modest player, cool guy. He was having an easy route until round 5 when I played him. And game 1, I pushed his shit in. And then game 2, I almost had him, but he edged me out. And then we couldn't really finish game 3. So it was a draw. But he's a very, very good opponent, very skilled at the game, and he deserved to win that championship, Very good overall. Cell Absorption. Yep, exactly. Cell Absorption is the card that I was referencing before when I spoke about the extra card that's utilized in hand control in general. Do you have an updated Champa deck? Yes, I do. I very much do. I was thinking Champa is underrated. At the moment, is red and blue the best version to play? Red and blue is definitely the best version to play, since you have now Gowasu that can search out for gods, quote unquote, on the characteristic box. So it's very strong because you can literally search out for your Champas, your blue pile, which you should be running Beerus for removal. You could search out like literally more than half your deck. I kid you not. Like, that's why I love Champa with the Gowasu package. It's amazing. It has a whole lot of speed and a whole lot of setups, so you just gotta learn how to play the deck, and it's gonna be very viable in this format, especially when you could search out for your 10k boost. Vados is a god, right? And you can search out your free 10k. Yo, the Emperor is here. What's up, Super Critical Frieza? How do you feel about the 10-drop Zematsu? He's broken. He's snapped in half broken, but he's not easy to play. If you can get him out early, he will win you the game. He can hands down win the game. A guy that has immortality, basically. That's what I call it. I call that mechanic that. But yeah, indestructible. Anyone that has indestructible and that says, hey, when I attack you, you lose a card from your hand, a card from your board, a card from your life. Like, nigga, calm down. You taking everything right now. But you know, he's very strong. Definitely worth investing into if you can create a build that can utilize him effectively. And because he is a god, he can be tutorable with a few cards, you know, more like 1 card for now, and 2 if you count the search engine card. But you know, it is what it is. Very strong card, but again, you got to be careful. But keep asking questions, guys. I think I got up to the bottom of the list, and if you asked the question previously earlier on, definitely post it down again. Any thoughts about building a Gotenks leader deck? Also, what about Goku Black leader decks? Gotenks leader decks, very strong. The Gotenks leader deck has 1 card that I love, and that's the Ghost Tokens. That extra card that costs 2, that brings out 2 15Ks, super powerful. I don't know why players are not abusing the shit out of that card. I mean, that is why I would play Gotenks. I've seen some Gotenks builds without the card in it, and I'm like, mind blown. Like, why would I play a slightly less efficient leader? For that, I'll play Broly. You know, Broly does what he does better, because it doesn't matter if I have more cards or less cards. I could be kicking your ass and still discarding cards from your hand, which is it's just a straight up ass whooping, if I can say the least. You know, so that's, you know, it's just, you gotta abuse your leaders. You know, whatever leader you play, build your deck around that leader. You know, a lot of players try to like just dump in staples. Don't do that. You know, if you have a leader, play for your leader. You know, let your opponent worry about what you gotta do, because your opponent's gonna be having a hard time against your opponent. You know, they're gonna be having a really hard time. You know, and that's what you want to do. You know, at the end of the day, you want to build a deck that's very strong, that your opponent is worried about. They're like, shit, I got to play against this? Damn. You know, and it's tough. It's not easy when you're playing against a well-constructed deck, you know, especially when it's geared for the leader. But moving forward, let's see. And about Goku Black leader decks, also, what about the Goku Black leader decks? They're very strong. Goku Black is a very strong leader, but you got to realize that he does have some weird matchups. He doesn't have a matchup that he straight up loses. You know, it's not like he has a really bad matchup, but he has very, like, he's one of those leaders that performs good. Against the decks that he would normally perform well against, he performs extraordinarily well. You know, it's like his average matchups are a little above average, while his matchups that are not geared for him are kind of like a little tougher than normal. Like, he's similar to Starter Goku in the sense that Starter Goku's worst matchups are similar to his worst matchups, but it's just more amplified with him because, you know, he doesn't have all the perks that Goku Starter has. You know, the leaders work similar in the sense that they want to be drawn out to the later game. They work very effectively on the later game. That's why people were combining with Babidi. You know, we had like the red leader, the red package with that deck, and it's strong, but you know, it does have its mismatch. You know, it has its mishaps. I need a boo that turns battle cards to candy because I need. I love that. Yes, Super Critical Frieza. Yes, that would be so awesome. You guys should like that comment that he just wrote. That is so awesome. Hell yeah. I want to freaking make my opponent's cards into snacks, you know, while I'm pushing this shit in. My question is to you. I want to hold hands and go on a oh shit, Zuhair's all right. Well, as long as you're the one treating for the date, fuck it. I don't got a girlfriend. Reaper, what you want to see for the new black color cards? I just want to keep seeing new mechanics. Like right now we got one new mechanic. I want to see a few more interactive stuff go on, you know? I want to see cards that makes your opponent think. Like on my turn I could just counter, like, you know, maybe another extra card that can counter extra cards. And I mean extra cards as in not just cards that are played, but like Sensu Bean. Sensu Bean is fucking busted, guys. Like that card is freaking broken. So we should see something that can deal with that, you know? I want to see an extra card that says, nah, nigga, negate. As soon as you Sensu Bean, nope, you're not Sensu Bean nothing. Or maybe a card that even copies the skill. So like whenever an extra card is played, it says this extra card copies that extra card's effect. So both players get to utilize it. So if you activate a card to discard my hand, let's say you activate Cell Absorption, I chain and I activate, I can Cell Absorption you back. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Like something that just makes the game you know, like, oh man, I don't know if I want to Sensu Bean because he could Sensu Bean right now. You know, I don't know if I want to Cold Bloodlust him because you can literally Cold Bloodlust or Cold Bloodlust. So if they try to negate you, you could use that card as a negate to stop them from negating your card. Wouldn't that be hot? Like, you know, just very, very crafty stuff, you know? Overall, I want to just see more acceleration in how the game is played. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving forward. If I don't have green promo Gohan and am ready plain energy boost beerers, what can I sub in for the Gohan Kale? That's a quick fix. Sub in that Kale if you're running a green package in your deck. And if you don't have Kales, because Kales have risen up in value, right now they're like, what, $20 to $30? I haven't been keeping track, but definitely you can play Bardock as a sub. Bardock is very good in this format. Believe it or not, any card that can get rid of tokens for free is good. You can get rid of chill tokens, you can get rid of ghost tokens, and you can get rid of the cell tokens. So tokens are very relevant in this format, and that's something that I want you guys to like really get in the habit when you're like playing the game. Just you know, again, think about all the possibilities that you can utilize. Right now, there's a lot of cards that are very strong that even players are not using. Like, no one's really using the cell tokens, and I'm like mind blown. I'm like, come on, guys, that's a free 5K boost. You drop those little guys, they're value. You drop value on the board. I can usually use them to guard up or use them to push your shit in and get extra value for playing it. I'm gonna keep moving on, guys. Blue Crit Vegeta or Red Crit Vegeta leaders? Blue Crit Vegeta is still the best. I'm sorry. I like the Red Crit Vegeta, but we need more support. So, excuse me. Once we get more support, we will definitely be able to see Red Crit Vegeta in action more. But I do like my Save the Day Vegeta deck. I have a red Vegeta deck that I played. I had to break up the deck because I need staples. You know, unfortunately, I'm not blessed with like freaking 20 play sets of cards. So even I myself have to like, I can only really keep like 2 or 3 decks at a time. You know, I can't really keep so many decks. But yes, I just want to see more support for that leader. When we get more red support, it's great. But definitely, you need to use that SS3 in that deck. If you're going to play Red Crit Vegeta, he's freaking nasty with SS3. That's a 20K crit guy. Like, hold that. And if you hit Champa off, double strike, like that's way too strong. It's like, hold that L while I'm giving it to you. Best underrated leader, Galactic Frieza, Daigo. Definitely Galactic. I can also argue that I have to say Champa is very underrated. Champa was nothing. Then I remember I was playing with them heavily. Then a few other players started playing with them. Like if you watched Wise Guy's channel, you know, Trey was playing with them too. Me and him, we were playing with them around the same time. I got to win an event first before him, but it was, you know, we played him roughly around that time, and then he kind of just fell off the map. You know, hey man, you're welcome. Have a great night. You know, so you know, just definitely keep in mind, you know, be mindful. You know, that's the key thing in this game. You know, there's a lot of great leaders. You just gotta, you know, keep looking forward and, you know, definitely test out. Do a lot of testing, guys. You know, playing the game repetitively is gonna kind of get you to where you need to be at, and it's gonna allow you to see a lot of underrated leaders as well. What do you think about the new hero cards, strongest to weakest? The new hero cards, all right. I'm gonna go through some of them. I'm just gonna go through my favorites, just to kind of quicken this question. I love Gotenks. Gotenks is fucking busted. He's very strong. A little too strong if you ask me, to be honest. I don't know, Bandai is really loving him, and I fear for that because I love him too, but just because I'm gonna be pushing people's shits in doesn't mean I'm gonna like how I'm winning, because I just know I'm busted. Like, you already have an unfair advantage when I'm playing. I'm loving Vegito. Vegito, definitely, that 8-drop, he's nasty. He's definitely nasty. And Super Critical Frieza, PPG says Jocko's. I was the first one to do the Jocko's thing. Just throwing that out. You know, players that are playing Jocko heavily now, I was the first nigga to play that. You know, so PPG, y'all ripping my style. But kudos to you for being consistent at events. But I'm gonna continue to push your membership, and you know that just throwing that out there, because so far I'm 2-0 on playing members of PPG. I beat 2 of the guys who won events. So like Alejandro, you know. So Alejandro, I got your number. But moving forward to what I was answering before I got lost. Again, my favorite hero cards, I'm loving the kids. I love Trunks and Goten. I think that they're a little too strong, and like I said, they're tutorable. That's an issue. You know, it's an issue that's going to continue to become an issue if they keep giving more support to the same cards that do a lot. You know, going further, I have to say that, like I said, Vegeta is definitely one of my strong picks. Especially when you have a small Goku and small Vegeta in red decks, you can easily play a free one cost Vegeta on the board, and you know you could do some damage. Play a small Goku, draw a card, sink on 5, drop Vegeta, swing out. I'm crit. Oh, hold that. I'm double strike. Like you can do a lot. You know, it's very strong. Hi, how's it going?
Look like Mike is not here. So someone's still in the PH1 no more?
Yeah, apparently.
There's one more there?
Yeah, there should be.
In PH1?
In PS.
PX1.
Oh, no, actually, no.
His gun yesterday?
Yeah, he's not, yeah.
Oh, okay, I just want to check.
Yeah.
And then, because when I left yesterday, it's kind of, you know, I didn't check the bed or whatever.
I know.
Okay.
Thanks again for bearing with me. But all right, so moving forward, I think I answered the heroes question pretty well. Let's go on. Let me see. All right, Piercing Super Saiyan 2 Son Gohan is so underrated. Yes, Daigo. Actually, I lost to that card one time. I lost the game. I didn't lose a full 2 out of 3, but I did lose the game. My opponent during I believe the Connecticut event, if you watched any of the videos, you'll see that I got an interview and I actually point out that card specifically. He's very strong. Saying that you can't utilize any of your 3 combos or less is a problem. You still get the effects though. Remember, even against Piercing Gohan, it says when a card is played that's 3 or less, you discard it. So it has to be played first so you still get the effects. If you play a boost attack Piccolo, you still gain the draw and then it gets discarded. If you play a Jocko, you still bounce well, technically you wouldn't be able to do it at that timing, but if there are any effects that are applied during that timing, you get to do it. Just throwing it out. Same thing with Jocko. Same, you know, if you Jocko, you still get to bounce the card back to their hand. You know, so, you know, just going through that. Things that go, we need to play together more, dude. That one match at Xeno wasn't enough. Yes, it really wasn't enough. We gotta, you know, I mean, I'm available. I go to Gaming Universe, guys, you know, so if you're in the New York area, I go to Gaming Universe, I go to Bulletproof. I'm involved in my community down here, you know, for the most part. I don't like going to too many locals because I do get complaints about me attending events, believe it or not. It's kind of bad. I win majority of my locals here. It is what it is. So some people have pulled me to the side and have told me like maybe if I want to enter events, we could pass like some pricings to like, you know, like shift the pricing down, you know. Because a lot of the players now where I'm at, they're pretty good. I have some solid players, especially like my team and, you know, and other people that are outside my team are talented at this game. But, you know, most people are still adjusting. You know, they're adjusting to formats, and you know, it's you know, not to toot my own horn. It is what it is. You know, it's not much challenging for me. So you know, I tend to win often. Piercing, let's go. Primal Velocity. One of these days, can we have a match? Absolutely, we can, for sure. I want to learn some tips from you, one of the God of Destructions, you in this game. Thank you. Definitely. I will. If you guys see me at events, we can have some friendly matches. I'm not going to always just say we got to play for something. I prefer playing for stuff because it makes it more worth the time. You know, some games do last long, so it does make it worth both of our time. But definitely we could, we could get run at least a game or two in, even if it's like best of ones, I could at least grant that much so that we could have fun, I like playing. I really do have a love for this game. That's why I do content relatively often, On the channel, I will actually have a schedule also. I'm just letting you guys know, I will finally have a schedule. So I know it's kind of random. Sometimes you see me post a video and it's kind of hard to keep up, so I do apologize for that. I will have a set schedule, so similar to like Kitchen Table Meta and a few other guys like Super Players. I'll actually give in the description box in my featured next video of how my schedule is gonna look like. So you know when I'm gonna have a meta talk, you know when I'm gonna have deck profiles, you just have an idea what I'm gonna come out with. So whatever you're interested in, you could just boom, pop up and be like, yeah, Anna's doing a deck profile, let me check that out real quick. Cause you already know I put up quality on this channel. I don't put up no half-ass deck stuff. You guys get to really enjoy what I put up. Do I know the way? Oh man, yo guys, that meme has been going up. I'm actually loving it. I love Knuckles and I love the little crazy version of him. Yes, I know the way. The way is Dragon Ball. Let's see. Go Tanks is unreal, man. Hell yeah, he's freaking unreal. The nigga's broken. These kids are too strong. Draw to him, pop a card. Exactly. Enough said. GG's. Vegito is the best. I don't know about that. Vegito being the best. He's good. He ain't bad, but he ain't the best. He's the best in the show, though. I want to see Vegeta. I want to see Vegeta and Goku kick that ass. Right now, in Super, the TV show, the anime series right now, it's lit. Shit is crazy. Jiren got his shit pushed back just recently. Freaking Vegeta was like, yo, I gotta keep my promise to Kaba. So he was ready. He went true blue on him, so he's already going beyond the limit, they're breaking their limits. And Goku's badass anyway. Goku just, let's go Kai Fist. Let's just KO Kenboy all day. We're going in there. So that's something that, we all can look forward to. But onto more card game stuff. Gives me an erection every time. Yeah, same here, boy. And the Vegeta Hero card coming is amazing. That shit is super amazing. That shit is super amazing. Definitely. Let's see. Good decks for set 1 format. Europe, Vegeta, Genyu, Gold Frieza. Yes. Vegeta is fucking amazing. Excuse my French. Genyu is fucking amazing. Very good. Very, very good. That's something that you definitely want, you definitely want to have those 2 leaders at your disposal for set 1 meta. And starter Goku is the man. If you're not playing against Vegeta, best believe you're going to be pushing people's shits in, because he holds weight during the set 1 meta. And other key cards during set 1 meta is Champa. Very good. Hey guys, how's everything? Good?
Yeah.
All right. But yes, very effective set 1. Set 1 meta, you definitely want to use starter Goku, you want to use Champa, you want to use Genyu, you want to use Vegeta, for sure. But good question, Rupert. Thanks for asking. When is the next Gaming Universe Locals? I used to go every week, but missed out on the last month. Shaking my fucking head. The next Locals is probably this Friday. I might not be able to attend, unfortunately, because I'm gonna be heading towards VA. It's the regional, baby. So I gotta be there. I gotta this time really go all the way through and get enough rest for day 2. Topping ain't hard. Winning, I gotta be at my best, because competition is up there, guys. So I'm definitely gonna be pushing people's shits in all day day 1, and I'm gonna go all the way through for day 2. So we're gonna see what happens on that. Okay, big boy. When are you gonna win a regional? VA. I think I think this regional will be mine for the taking. I highly doubt. I feel like this format, since so many decks counter my bad matchups, I'm gonna be good. I don't have to worry too much about bad matchups, and I just gotta get rest. I'm gonna make sure I get enough rest for day 2, because day 2 I have a teammate, and I ain't gonna say much about, but he snores like a bear, and I couldn't sleep, so I ended up sleeping in a freezing car, and that did hurt my performance at the last regional I attended. You know, I wasn't able to break out of top 32. I came in 11th in the standings, and then day 2, I got my shit pushed in because I was playing terrible. I had chills, I was freezing and tired because I was only able to grab about 3 hours of sleep in the car. So that was just really bad. But moving forward, your favorite leader. My favorite leader is Cell. You guys know me as a Cell player now. You know, I've been a Cell player for a while. I just been playing my original shit. I don't copy nobody's shit. I like developing the format. You know, I'm one of the guys that will create a format for you guys to play in. Let's keep moving forward. No one's here. We'll play our money match at Indy. Oh, I'm a fuck boy. Okay, all right, boy. We'll play our money match. You know, I'll be taking your money. Thank you for the donations. I love watching you. I'm from Queens, but I live in Long Island. Thank you. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. So shout out to the Hood Gang. Yup, squad. But my question is, when are you allowed to awaken exactly? Okay, so you can only awaken in 2 phases of the game. You can awaken during battle. So when your opponent attacks you and they pass their combo step to you, during your combo step, when you're allowed to combo and place cards onto on the board, you can awaken. So during combo phase, you can awaken. During your combo or during their combo, during their turn during your combo, you can awaken. And then during your main step. Main step only happens during your turn, so you can awaken at any moment during your main step. Just always remember, if you have 4 or less life and you're about to awaken on your turn, draw your card, place your energy, then awaken. Don't awaken before you place your energy down, or you will skip your energy phase, because that means that you technically chose to place 0 energy down, and that's allowed. You don't have to play energy every turn. So just be careful with that. King Goomba, expectations for new set coming in the future for the Tournament of Power. I mean, I have a lot of expectations on more Jiren based cards. I want to see the Pride Troopers come out. I mean, we all do. Come on, I want to see Dispo. I want to see what that nigga can do, even though right now I'm kind of mad that he's kind of messing around with Frieza. But Frieza kind of like dusted off his shoulders, you know. Nigga can't hurt him. But, you know, it is annoying that you have a character that you really can't touch. And it's like Flash from DC, you know. You have some characters that they're not super powerful, but you really can't hurt them because you can't catch them. So now you have to like use plans and techniques in order to really grab them. And Gohan is a good matchup. That's why Gohan is going to help Frieza. I want to see a new Gohan card. I want to see a new Gohan leader, more of a strategic leader, not a draw 1 or I have to lose the game if I go for a triple strike game. You know, it is. What is up, Corona? What is up, Isaac? Let's keep going up. Let's keep going down. Yes, we are live, boys. We are live. We are live out here, guys. We are. What is up, Jonathan Snow? Oops, sorry for that. Noob, what is up, boy? Be right. Oh, what is up? It's a while. I haven't seen you in a bit. Actually, I'm lying. I actually saw you before when you posted up on my recent video. Giovanni, what do you think about Ultra Instinct cards and what will be its skill? Okay, you got to realize that Ultra Instinct was when Goku, when he was getting his shit pushed in. He literally did everything he could do to fight Jiren. Nigga went, I don't even know why he even started off at like a base form trying to fight Jiren, going through the Super Saiyan 2 and all that bullshit. Like, you're fighting a monster. Why? I know he was trying to build it up and kind of see if he can match his power without going all out. As we all know, Goku is one of the rare characters, and a lot of animes take it from his persona. He's one of those characters that say, hey, I'm going to start off at my weakest, and I'm going to keep building up just to see where my opponent is at. He always wants to test himself and see where his opponent is at skill-wise and strength-wise. So, you know, I have to say that Ultra Instinct is going to be a card that probably says when you are one or less life, it's either going to be a leader, and if a leader card, and if it's not, it's going to be a battle card that says like when you're at one life or 2 or less life, you can apply the skill. The skill will be that during your opponent's attack phase, it's gonna have something where your opponent can't hit you. They can't hit you for game. There's gonna have to be like a specific condition met. Like if you can only lose due to like a triple strike or a double strike. You got what I'm saying? Like it's gonna make the game more interesting where you can only lose by a specific type of strike, or you can only lose by single strikes. Imagine that. Double strike, triple strikes, all those critical, anything but a single strike you can only be touched by that. So I feel like they're gonna really do something really classic and classy with that type of skill. But it has to be when you're losing. It has to be when you're losing or at low life, for sure. Moving forward, let's see. Primal Velocity, bro. I hope you beat that troll player called Mark. Oh yeah, I forgot his last name too. You know he's not real, guys. Mark, whatever. I think Bulger. I think that was his name. Yeah, he was just trolling me. We're not really doing a money match. He's not gonna play me for money. He's just gonna lose his money to me. That he doesn't even know how to play the game. So he was just trolling everyone, trying to get a little popular off my name and just trying to like throw me out there so that people would like start getting to know him, and he was able to build up a little following, and it was fun. He did bring some light to the community in that sense, but he wasn't for real. And if you're not for real, you're wasting people's time, and we don't got time for that. We really don't. A lot of people are trying to learn how to play the game and actually like play against people that know how to play. So moving forward, and I need you to teach me to push people's shit in. Of course, Jonathan Snow, you just gotta hit me up, or if you see me at a, you gotta meet up with me. If you're at an event, or wherever you're at, we gotta rendezvous. Kenneth, what do you think about the promo hit card in set 2? He's very strong. I think he's underrated. He is underrated. You realize that a card that says he's even better than indestructible. The guy can't be removed, period. During the start of your opponent's turn, the beginning of their main phase, I pitch a card, you ain't touching me, bro. I can swing out and touch your leader, and then on your turn, pitch a card. You know who he's very effective with? He's very effective in Champa. Champa gives you a free draw. I swing, I draw, and now I can discard a card to save him. I swing, I draw. Now if I'm running the hit card, you better have a cold bloodlust, boy, or you about to take this 2 damage, and if you're already at 2, GG, because you ain't getting rid of my hit. He's very powerful. The only matchup he's gonna have a hard time against is hit. It's not hit. Imagine hit. He has a hard time against the hit leader. But no, the only hard matchup he's gonna have is against Cold Bloodlust. Decks that can utilize that card. But moving forward, I really want hit to be good. Yeah, shit, I wish the hit leader was good. I'm about to troll and play like a hit leader, not for no regionals, but at some locals, and I'll do a deck profile once I win an event with him. I'm pretty sure I can win an event with him, so I'm gonna try to test that theory sometime soon. Hey Corona, what's up, bro? Which cards from set 2 should I use to run a current format Broly? Unique Kale, like I was discussing earlier in this video. Kale is super essential, Kale basically says, guys, I drop Kale, I pop everything I can touch, swing out with Broly, get rid of your threat. So if you drop a big threat, I don't even have to worry about that. Kale says, get rid of all your little niggas, and then I'm gonna pop your big nigga with my leader. So definitely look into running 3 to 4 Kales in your Broly deck. I have a Broly deck that's nasty, guys. I really have one that's very competitive. I already won a local with it, so I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm not gonna take it to any big event yet because I don't think it's ready, but it's definitely, it's definitely up there. So what about Ultra Instinct Leader? Yes, that's what I was saying, Giovanni. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna see an Ultra. I feel like we're gonna see an Ultra Instinct Leader that says you can only awaken when you add 2 or less life, similar to like the Zamatsu.
Thank you.
But yes,
I didn't lock it.
Oh, you didn't lock it? All right.
I know what is that.
Okay, I'll take.
Yeah, maybe you can lock it.
Yeah.
I don't have my key right now.
No, it's okay. I'll lock it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you later. But yeah, so it is what it is. In a little bit, guys, I'm gonna end up locking the elevator. That'll just take like less than 30 seconds. So I'm just giving you a warning on that. All right, so now we're gonna keep going on. Like I said, Giovanni, I definitely foresee us having a leader that is Ultra Instinct with Goku, and I do feel like it will be an Awaken at 2 or less life. I can't quite say what effect they're gonna have. I believe that it's gonna literally say that this leader can only be attacked by leaders that are just like single strike. So basically, I don't know how they would word it, but any battle card that has an effect text on it, boom. Any battle card that has an effect text cannot deal damage to this leader when it's awakened. GG, and it's at 2 or less life. So that means only your leader, and it's not gonna count the leader card. Leader cards can hit your leader, but it will stop all the battle cards from hitting you. So I believe that it'll have something like that, so that it literally keeps you living. You can literally live, and if your opponent is running a very heavy skill-oriented deck, that might be a bad matchup. And that means that you will have to probably hit your opponent with a triple strike attack, just so that you can bring their life from 3 to zip instead of letting them awaken. See how that could work out? Let's keep it going. Tier 2 decks. Galactic Frieza is a tier 2 deck, but it does have good matchups against tier 1 decks. Some tier 1 decks. Tier 2 deck, Chill. Chill is actually pretty. He's a threat, guys. Chill is no joke when you're running the card that gives viability to your tokens. You want to make sure that your tokens are useful to some extent. Moving forward, I believe that Cooler can be tier 2. Cooler is pretty nasty. You know, that big Yeti star dropping a bunch of Cooler cards, that's pretty strong. And they're 2. They cost 2, so they're not super weenies, and they hit 15k. So even Kale can't just say blow up your whole board. If you get a board out of Coolers, this is pretty much GG's, you know, just straight up with you. One thing you niggas don't realize is that with the promo hit, you can feed your discard pile and use new overwhelm cards to make shit poppin'. That is true. That's very true. But for that matter, you could just use a Cooler leader. I mean, you use a Cooler leader and boom, you ready to get you get a discard pile like that. So, you know, I mean, it's just up to how you want to play the game. The only problem is that the Cooler leader would probably not play Cooler cards. Just giving you the heads up. You would use the Cooler leader just for milling cards off your deck, and you would use it as its own leader. You would run a completely different deck on it, because it would be mainly for overwhelm cards. That's how I would run it. But take it to your locals, not regionals. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said tier 2. And are you able to play test at your job if you have downtime? Yes, I can, but I don't have a tripod on me. So if you want to play test in the future, let me know, guys, and I could play test with you guys over Skype. I could possibly do, you know, I might even be able to do something on YouTube. I don't know. I gotta check my options, but yes, I could do some live testing. LOL, what about playing Zamatsu leader with a Vegeta style deck just for fun? You can do it. I mean, you could do anything in this game, guys. That's something that you have to realize. It's very crucial that you test out a lot of things, you know. It's fun. It's fun when you could do a lot of stuff, guys. You know, it is what it is. You know, testing out, not playing linear. You get what I'm saying? So right now, a lot of leaders, like Bandai, they'll throw us card sets. They'll throw us set 1, set 2, set 3, whatever, so on and so forth. They throw us stuff and they give us a theme. They give us like tools to use. You do realize that you could just break those decks. You don't have to play the way the decks are telling you to play. That's what makes meta decks. Notice a lot of the meta decks are not like straightforward. What do you think is the best leader color combination to utilize the new 8-drop Vegito? Honestly, Vegito the leader is definitely not bad, and a deck that plays a lot of like early game stuff. Just hold on one moment. Hey, what's up? Yeah, doing good. Everything's good. Mike, he's taking vacation off. Vacation, because he's sick supposedly. But it's all good. All good, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely, bro. Giovanni Taroda, how do I feel about the Android leader with the Cell and Broly? Not bad. just be careful, guys. You know, androids don't need to be played with the cell leader. Just check out one of my matches. So with the cell pieces, check out my matchups, and you'll see what I do. You know, I like doing a lot of fun competitive stuff. You know, it is what it is. You could run the androids with a Broly package, and then keep the actual androids in. Run Broly with androids, right? You don't need to incorporate cell and everything. You know, the cell chain is good, but it's very weak against yellow. Keep that in mind, guys. Like, you don't want to, like, the cell chain is strong, but it's very weak against the cold bloodlust. And that's why the cell chain has been struggling these regionals. The first regional, boom, it did very good. The second regional, it was okay. It was topping, but it wasn't doing that much damage. The third regional, it plummeted. Guys, selling, no offense, cell chain ain't shit. It just ain't. I'm telling, being upfront with you. You know, when someone can say negate and you're like, fuck, you just negated my 5-drop cell, I can't do anything, and then on their turn they pop you off the board, and you're like, fuck, son, and they keep a heavy hand and you're not hurting them, and you're stuck with a bunch of garbage cell pieces in your hand, 5-drop and 7-drops in your hand. Nah, that got to go. You're gonna be losing games, guys, if you keep playing that bullshit. It ain't worth it. It's free wins against people who don't know how to play the game and against matchups that don't know how to deal with it. But matchups that do know how to deal with it, it doesn't do shit. I'm being upfront with y'all. I'm actually gonna right now quickly close the door. So I'm gonna just close the elevator door. I'll be back like in 30 seconds. Ask more questions, by the way, you know, so I can go through the answers. I'll be right back, guys. Just keep asking some questions so I can get back to you. All right, guys, I am back. What is good? All right, so let me go back and see what's going on with the questions. Let's see. Okay, so like I said, the best way to utilize the color combination with the new A-Drop Vegito is playing, obviously, a Vegito deck. Using the Vegito leader is definitely a good way because he is a red leader and it allows you to play that little red Vegeta that comes out for 1. Those cards are very important. That's another thing that I want to like make that clear. If you're not running 4 of those free play 1-drops, those free play 3-drops that come out for 1 energy, or even TN that comes out for 2 energy, you're bad. And I don't mean you as a person. I just mean that it's a bad decision not to play that in decks. Please play those cards. They are broken. Anything that's free or practically close to free is overpowered. Always know that. That you have to take advantage of abusive cards. Those cards can abuse. You defend on your turn, and then on your turn you ready them, and now you're attacking with a free guy for no reason. No reason. Like, it was a poor design on Bandai's part, but utilize all those advantages that Bandai gives us, right? You always got to do that. But moving on to the next question. Giovanni, how do you feel about Android leader with Cell and Broly? I already spoke about that. Think androids are underrated and Green has... I don't know. Androids are not underrated, Jonathan Snow. Androids have been doing well at regionals for the most part. I think that they are one of the decks to beat. You know, it's just that the cell chain isn't that effective anymore, and that's one thing that you guys got to realize, that it's not. So, you know, kind of like, you know, again, when you're literally constructing the deck, you don't have to look at your leader and be like, oh, I gotta play whatever the leader is like telling me to play, or whatever the cards come out for the leader. Like the stealth chain was a given. It's like, oh, can only